Dragon Ball Super Card Game Anniversary Box, new alt art leaders for all the decks. Yes, that's what we are doing here today, guys. And there's 7 of them. They were all revealed and they look awesome. And that's what we're covering today, plus some predictions as always. But before we begin, huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. These are our $2 and up patrons, the best coffee. They keep this crazy content great going, guys. Thanks out for your support. If you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to a patron is in the description below. And I think that's about everything. Roll the video. As with all of our videos, let's start with the breakdown. So Anniversary Box spoiler season is here. Yes, Anniversary Box spoiler season is here. We have 7 new alt art leaders. All of them are fan favorites, except for like the yellow one. I don't think anyone remembers that the yellow one existed, except for like maybe 10 people. I'm gonna go over them and I'm gonna give some of my predictions, like what they might do. Okay, let's check them out. Let's start with my favorite, U7 Goku Old Art Leader. Look how fucking amazing this one looks. This one looks so dope. It's gonna be foil. I believe it's gonna be texture foil, just like the last ones. And this is huge. This is absolutely huge. This was one of my predictions. So, U7 Goku. Now, what do I think it's gonna get? And I was thinking like, okay, let's assume there are 2 cards. He needs a +1 to +5k buff on his cards so that you can actually do damage. For example, the Frieza is just 19. But what I believe is gonna happen is that he will have a way to make SSB Vegeta Secret Rare a lot cheaper, like 2 energy at most. He will have a way, whether it's a Unison, a battle card, something, probably a battle card, probably with Goku and Vegeta on the artwork, which you play and it makes the SSB Vegeta SER cheaper. Like 2 energy, because that's one of the biggest points here, right? The only SER that you can actually play in this deck, well, aside from like Evil Saiyan, if you go the red-black route, is the Vegeta. And the Vegeta is just not good anymore. Like 4 energy is way too much. So that's my prediction. A way to make the SSB Vegeta SER a lot cheaper, and hopefully a +1 to +5k buff for battle cards. I think Bandai loves me because they just keep giving some of my favorite decks support. Red Androids. Okay, so let's quickly address one thing. Last time I said no Zenkai due to what the distribution info said, and that is still true. The distribution info did say that the box is meant to support older Unison Warrior era decks. It didn't say no Zenkai, but that's what it says and that was the interpretation. However, keep in mind, the distributor info turns out to be wrong, as I also believe that there is just one SER reprint and the distribution info says multiples. So who knows anymore. Anyway, Red Androids, not in a billion years, even if you told me it's gonna be Zenkai, not in a billion years would I have guessed this. Because to me, Androids are a perfect deck, like in a way that it has everything that it needs to have. So what can you possibly give to Droids? Honestly, when it comes to my prediction, I have no idea. Like, the deck has already everything that it needs. This is a competitive deck. This is a very, very strong deck that nobody plays. Already, there's everything you need, but maybe some sort of a discount for something. Maybe some sort of a discount. What would you do? All of the cards are already so cheap. Or possibly an Android 17 and 18 free drop, or I brought like free or like 1 to 3 drop. Well, fuck, I don't edit these apparently. I don't do that apparently. So anyways, Android 17, 18, 1 to 3 drop, for example. Something that you can put under your extra card and then just play whichever the other Android you're playing out of it, because that's a big one. That's one thing that is missing. You either play 17 and then you play out 18, or you play 18 and then you play out 17. But a card that has both of them, that's like a free cost with like 1 energy, play it, blah blah, that is something that the archetype could use. Another one that I never would have guessed. I mean, like, I knew this one was coming because I saw the leaks, but before that, I never would have guessed, is Majin Vegeta. I think just a handful of people who have been playing Masters for a very long time remember that this thing exists. So this is a weird one. I've never played it, and I have zero clue what it does anymore. I know that it's like an aggro deck. So when it comes to my predictions for it, honestly, no clue. Like, I know that the Z Extra got errated into one, the field card got errated into one playability basically. So what I believe we're getting is a Z Extra that will serve as an alternative to the field card. It'll probably have like the same effect, or that old effect plus something more, just to speed up your game plan, and then you can take out the shitty field card and you can just play the Z Extra and it will have a permanent that matches the name of the old one. And other than that, you're probably getting like a boss monster, like something like that, another Vegeta hitter, for example. The other green one is Cooler Unison. Cooler Unison, baby, the Joe Revel deck. So this leader, now, for those of you, for the OGs who have been following the lookout for years now, about 4 years ago when I took over the content production, I made a video for Cooler Unison when it was revealed. Basically, no one watched it, so it's like 100 people maybe know of this, and I was like, this is gonna bring green back. This deck is going to be the savior of green, and then it wasn't. It was actually horrible. Yeah. So the leader that was supposed to bring green back into the meta is now getting new support. It already got support from Dashpack, and I did talk with Joe occasionally about this, and it was like, we knew that this one was coming because of leaks, and we have no idea what can this deck do. Like, he says Z leader is cool. This deck has a ton of stuff. It just kind of doesn't work. That's the problem. So I'm thinking two things. Probably a discount for your one cost Unisons, so that you can turn the Salsa one into an actual charismatic villain where you can just play it for free. That would be amazing, like a Cooler Squadron Z Extra card, and it has active main, or if Bandai wants to be careful, active battle. Sure. The next Unison with a this name has its cost reduced by 1. Something like that. And then you just play the Salsa as a charismatic villain. But my real prediction, and this one comes on the back of two things. Well, it's on the back of one thing, but I think I know what you're doing, Bandai. I think I know what Bandai is doing. There was a rules update which allows you to play multiple Unisons out at the same time, only if they were played at the same time. So if you use an effect that plays 2 Unisons, at the same time you can play both of them instead of just 1. And there are only 2 things that come to my mind. First, that is Cooler Unison support, because that one really wants to do stuff like that, and Cooler Unison can probably run with that. And B, BT28 is going to support multiple leaders. BT28 is probably going to be like the tag team format that we came up with a long time ago. So it's either one or the other. And I think it's probably the other thing. But it might just be for the cooler. So my prediction for the cooler is a Z extra that makes your cooler squadron Unison guys free, so that you can use the charismatic one, and the next one is free, and of course probably a way to get more of them into play, which would be a bit game breakingly weird, but it's cooler, so it's probably gonna suck anyway. Now comes the one that literally everyone on the planet forgot about. Some people probably remember Vegeta. In the Vegeta Saiyan army, a lot of people remember this deck, but who remembers Yellow Gohan? The one guy, I think it was Ben from Australia, Ben or Benny, who topped with it, like once or twice. And I don't think anyone else remembers this leader. But Bandai does. Someone at Bandai loves this leader, and it's gonna give it support. So I'm waiting to see what it is. My prediction, zero idea. I have no clue whatsoever what this support is gonna be. I don't even know how this thing is played. So I guess a Z leader. I guess it's gonna get a Z leader. I've never even touched the deck before, though I'm just gonna chime in right here and say I hope these ones don't get Z leaders, a single one of these, because there is nothing worse to me as a card game player than getting a new shiny, alt art, though I don't care about artwork and stuff like that. But there is nothing worse than getting an alt art card and then you get the Z leader, which is just like a basic card, and you put it over your alt art and you're like, especially if it's like Beast Gohan and it goes away, that's fine. If it's like Humber and he just sticks there and you just wanted to show your shiny new leader, you're just kind of like, what? But anyway, I have no idea what this one is gonna be, so we'll see. And last but not the least, Gogeta Zeno. This is going to be the big boy of the anniversary box. I think Bandai is gonna give all the love to Gogeta Zeno. That this is gonna be the biggest one. Like, the maddest support ever made is probably gonna go to this dude. Gogeta Zeno is one of fan favorite decks. It is completely busted. It is stupid unfair to play against. It does horrible things to people. It requires little brain power to work. But you're like, hey, people love Gogeta Zeno. And I'm gonna say that Gogeta Zeno has one of the best artworks in the game. Not this one though. I really hate how this one looks like. I really hate this one. But the original one, and I think it was the World Championship one, those two look amazing. Those are the best ones. Anyway, copium on my end. This is gonna be good. Let's do a prediction. I believe that this one is gonna get a way to discount Gogeta cards, to give you a discount because they are way too expensive. Martial Melee, Marvelous Might. I think it's Martial Melee one that's like a bit borderline unplayable. It's like 3 mana or so energy. And he's probably gonna get a new boss monster. I want to say that he's gonna get the Z Unison. I hope to God not. So he's probably gonna be stuck with the Z Unisons that he already has, which is fine, but it's likely gonna be a way to make your Gogeta plays cheaper so that you can just keep the ball rolling, and a new boss monster updated for 2025 standards. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite one of these? What's your favorite alt art leader? Mine is U7 Goku. I think U7 Goku is amazing. I think this is the best looking one by far. So, and I am so hyped to play this. I'm so hyped to play this deck. But let me know in the comments. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And while you're here, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Help us get to 6k subs when I get a giveaway booster box. Yeah, these are pretty expensive. So go and sub. or maybe don't, you know, like it's kind of money. But anyway, just fucking around. This has been Damien from the Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.